Hey girls, load the spaceship. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Silicone, a TPE, it really don't matter which one it be. My mind keep visualizing future times, beautiful android girls surrounding me. Filling my cup, full of joy, keep my life full of glee. Plenty ups, never down, the way that life's supposed to be. But unfortunately, if she a terminator, then I'ma have to terminate it. Gotta get rid of negative vibes, gotta go through negative foes, gotta block out negative voices, gotta get rid of negative souls. Had some people get discorded, just ignored it. Destiny is more important, so I just had to abort it. Had some people get discorded, just ignored it. Destiny is more important, so I just had to abort it. Yeah. Find me with my dogs in my solitude. Watch my family grow from four into a multitude. Been living it below sea level, finna rise to another altitude. Been searching, seeking knowledge, but all the time I had the aptitude. I flipped my mindset to the switch to say I will not lose. Mama said them sticks and stones won't break my bones, I never bruise. Whenever it come to trouble, man, the girls pull a tongue, we always cruise. I heard other dog owners get it out for me, but it ain't no news. I got 4 in the dough in Memphis so they can get the blues. If you need a few clues that blow off your under rules, send your compliment to the new girls I got coming through. Send your compliments to the new girls I got coming through. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Silicone, a TPE, it really don't matter which one it be. My mind keep visualizing future times, beautiful android girls surrounding me. Filling my cup, full of joy, keep my life full of glee. Plenty ups, never down, the way that life's supposed to be. But unfortunately, if she a terminator, then I'ma have to terminate it. Gotta get rid of negative vibes, gotta go through negative foes, gotta block out negative voices, gotta get rid of negative souls. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Out of space, out of world, out of galaxy with a different girl. Silicone, a TPE, it really don't matter which one it be.
Yeah. What up? It's your boy, Jada King Hefner, man. But before we get this thing started, man, we gotta check something else out before we get this party started, man. Glad to see all of y'all, man. Where is it at? Oh, I think we might have found it. No, that ain't it. Where is it at? Let me play what I want to play now. Okay, man. They don't want me to play what I want to play. I see that now. Okay. There we go. Yeah, man. We got to warm this show up a little bit more, man. Got to warm it up a little bit more here. You know what I'm saying, man? We gotta warm this thing on up early in the morning. We got to get folks ready, man. Let's go let this thing do what it do right quick. Then we're gonna start everything all right, man.
Yeah, it's the rebellion. If God be for me, no man can stand against me. If you want to go to war, we'll take you to war. Let's go, girls. I was just a needle in the haystack, squirming till I was found. As soon as I was found, wanna put me back in the ground. They'd rather I be quiet and never can make a sound. I'ma always make a sound just to get out of bounds. They looking for the KO, I'm taking them round for round. I'ma hit them up high while the girls attack from the ground. When them lightsabers hit, you drop where you hear a sound. We make them catch a duck when pitches blame from the mound. Got everybody pissing, comparing us hit the town. They all going crazy like they missed the clear with the brown. Got Cali rolling with me wherever it's going down. If these fools acting circles, they better be down the clown. But my girls stump them out like they coming from Orange Mound. They be quick to turn your smile upside down into a frown. Essentially, mentally, it's meant to be, and unfortunately, it's too late, cause it ain't no stopping me. They put them triggers, but it ain't no popping me. Put up a roller, but it ain't no blocking me. Blow up the radar, cause it ain't no clocking me. Stay on the bottom cause it ain't no top of me. Keeping the faith every day, follow the prophecy. My girl special, they ain't just pieces of property. Cleanliness is close to God, can't leave them slovenly. Disrespect my girls, they leave you with a lobotomy. Or watch the venture report and learn female psychology. Keep your mind on so the engine will work properly. Focus on the truth, don't get caught up in the hypocrisy. Find your own vision, don't worry about trying to copy me. Live your own life and don't worry about all the mockery. Always gonna be haters as far as the human I can see. Ain't shit been the same since my dog died. Ain't no motherfucker, but I'm still gon' ride. Ain't shit been the same since my dog died. Ain't no motherfucker, but I'm still gon' ride. Just a needle in the haystack, squirming till I was found. Just a needle in the haystack, squirming till I was found. As soon as I was found, wanna put me back in the ground.
Yeah. Yeah, baby. Now we ready to get this thing started. All right, baby. What up? It's your boy, Jada King Hefner, and the beautiful Cali Sun. Got my girl, Mar Blaze, still hanging around. And I'm sad to say I finally had to send my beautiful girl, Saima, off to get ready to get all cleaned up and start this cycle all back over. And I have a couple of girls that's been out of view for a while. They're gonna pop back into the picture, but the beautiful Queen Callie is gonna hold me down right by my side for a little while all the girls are getting tended to. But with all that said, the subject of today's show is a very good subject, to say the least. The real doll you imagine, baby. The real doll you imagine. And I'm not going to draw things out. You know me, I'm going to go ahead and get right to the point. But first of all, I definitely want to say God bless everybody that's here. I appreciate you being here wherever you are tuning in from, all around the world, morning, noon, or night, whatever time zone you in, country, wherever you are. You are welcome here, and we're glad that you are tuning in live, baby. And if you're looking in a little bit later, not looking at this live, we appreciate you tuning in then as well, too. And if you end up dipping out and coming back and looking at the rest of the show, we appreciate that, too. So everybody that's supporting the show, thank you. And glad to have you here. God bless you. We want to send God's blessings out over your life, whatever you're wishing for, hoping for, health, finances, relationships, promotion, whatever it is. We pray that you have it. We just ask you believe it, then you will receive it. But with all that said, man, back to a live stream. Haven't seen you guys since last Dark King Power out. Been putting out some videos, and I love getting back to my videos as well because, you know, it's just a whole nother aspect of it. And honestly, man, it's been just stuff constantly that I've been needing to talk about the industry, even separate from me and the girls, you know, just, hey, sales going on. You know, it's Christmas time. A lot of you guys are looking to add that companion to your life. So I want to be that person here to help you, point you in the right direction. And I've actually been able to help several people over the last couple of months. I mean, over the last however long it's been, month or so, since I've had my vendors out. And so I'm really happy about that. I have a couple of people that actually use my vendors, but they didn't use them the right way as far as if they wanted to help the show. Like I always say, it's always going to be a time where people may literally just say, you know what, FJ, I like his vendors, but I'm not going to use him. That could happen. But we're not going to think about the negative. But with all that saying, some people may do this by mistake. They may think they can just go to the vendor and say, hey, y'all, we went through Dog King Hefner. But it doesn't work like that. You know, it doesn't work like that. Because I've had like 2 people say, yeah, man, we use your vendor to go through and get a companion dog. And when I looked, I was like, no, I don't see that evidence or whatever. I didn't tell them that, of course. I didn't explain it to them in that raw sense of a term. But I was just like, no, I don't see what they actually went through me. Come to find out, these people actually clicked after they saw my about page, they clicked out of there and then went to the site. And that's not what you're supposed to do if you want to help the show. Like I always say, you can always just say, forget me and deal with the company straight on and be like, hey, forget it. I don't want, I want the company to, have, I don't want to help the show keep going. You can do that. But if you actually do want to help the show, you have to click the links I have in my about section. I have links for vendors in all of the descriptions of my videos. And if you follow me on social media, you could just search my name. I'm going to pop up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Then I have my vendors listed in the about sections of those different social media platforms. So if you ever think about getting a doll and you want to support the show, go to one of those places, click the link, and then it's going to take you to exactly where it's telling you it's going to take you. And these sites, my links are legitimate. It's just that you'll be making a conscious decision to say, you know what, I'm gonna help the show. And I'm explaining to you why it's so important really quickly, and then I'm gonna get into the meat of the show. It's only important because of this. You don't buy a companion dog every other day. And so if you think that I've helped you and stuff, and you like, hey, I want to not buy a dog to help the show, but hey, I'm deciding to get a dog now, I might as well go through my guy Jay. If you're thinking like that, then you have to click the link to help the show. That's all I'm saying. And it's very important because that's really, that really can be, it's not right now, but it really can be the lifeblood of my show. Just when people decide to, hey, help the show, you can keep us going. And man, I can't tell you how hype I am when I just think about being able to keep going, like I'm doing now. But with all that said, let's get into the nitty and the gritties. And say hello to everybody, and then I'm going right into what the hell is going on. Because I figured I had one of my Dog King Army team members here, and I didn't get a chance to send him a message before I started today. Atai said, look, I checked my updates before I ended my day. Good morning to you and the girls, Jay. Man, I'm happy to hear from you, Atai, and God bless you. You're one of the people that actually, said you went through my links and actually clicked on it. So I appreciate you, and I'm glad that you're here. Glad you're a member. I want to send a shout out to all my Dog King Army team members that have a membership with me. I am getting ready to start my Discord back up in a second. I'll probably make an announcement soon, but just to let you know, I probably am going to start that again. But it's only going to be open to people that are team members. I was going to make another tier, just let my team members know. I'm thinking I'm still going to hold off on a tier because it's just that I've been so busy with just doing the show that, man, I don't know if I could actually go up another tier on the membership as far as, offering more services right now. Just working on a lot of things behind the scenes. So what I am going to do is probably have a Discord where, hey, Atai, you can come if you want to, show a picture of your girl and, have a different conversation when I pop in there. Or just talk to your other dog compatriots as they begin to join. I won't be in there all the time, but I will be in there checking on you guys, and it'll be a good place to commune. But to keep everything legitimate, I said, you know what? The last Discord I had was starting to turn into a mess, so now we'll know that all team members are in there. So I'll do an official announcement, but I am going to start that up soon. Oh, Ataya says, bro, I love your flow. Thank you, Ataya. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm going to read through these comments and I'm going to get started, baby. Austin Steele says, good morning, Jay, and happy Monday to you, sir. Oh, good morning to you, Austin. Good morning to you. Man, I can't lie, Austin. This is going to be a sort of a more personal week. I'm going to share some stories on a couple of live streams. I think I'm going to put my videos on hold for a few days. And I'm gonna do a couple of live streams this week, and I got a couple of good stories to share. It's gonna be great. Austin says, always down to talk more about RealDoll, even though mine's out of commission currently. Well, I'm actually going to talk more about that later in the week, Austin. And you can still talk about it now, but I said I'm going to talk a little bit more about your situation a little bit later in the week. But you can still bring it up if you want to. He said this box needs to hurry up and get here so she can start making the trip to Cali. Hey, calm down. Calm down. Everything gonna work out. I keep telling you, man, people, time is relative. Hey, it's everything is happening a lot quicker than you think it is. If you just calm down, it's gonna happen. Enjoy your life. You got another girl there, a couple of girls there. Enjoy them. They're in commission. Just leave the beautiful Samantha over, let her relax, and guess what? You've got her in good hands. Hey, if you relax and enjoy your day, this whole process will be a lot easier. But if you stay all tensed up, you know, I actually got a show that I want to talk about about somebody being tensed up about their dog getting there. And I'm telling you, man, in life and everything, it's just best to calm down. It's coming. Everything is coming. He said, I was down talking more about RealDoll, even though, okay, hold on. Heavy Metal says, good morning to y'all. What up, Heavy Metal? Good to hear from you, brother, always. You and the beautiful ladies of the Heavy Metal Heavy Metal family. Austin says, hey, now, I know I ain't officially a team member, but surely you can make an exception for your boy. Oh, no, I can't lie, Austin. I love you, but this is only going to be open for team members. This is only going to be open for team members. And the thing about it is, I know everybody's not going to be able to, and I make an official announcement probably later, but I know everybody won't be able to keep a team membership forever. That's fine. But to initially get into my Discord, yes, you're going to have to join my team membership. So, hey, even though I know you're legit, Austin, I can't change the rules for everybody. I'm going to keep it just like that because I know that if you're a team member, you're going to be a good person. You're not going to be in there trying to mess around. And if you are a team member that's starting to do something crazy, then I have to get rid of you. I have to block you out of there because I want this to be a complete place of just straight peace. I want when people to walk in there, it's no controversy. It's no talking about all the negative, anything negative that's on your mind. This is going to be a place of serene peace. If you're not talking about, your doll and, some good stuff about your doll. Now, I'm not talking about, you can talk about, hey, your personal life, if something may not go wrong, you need somebody to talk to, that's fine. But if you come in there with anything negative, it's going to be over because I said, you know what? That's what I was trying to create last time. People were like, hey, you ain't in there every 24 hours a day. No, that's not what I'm creating. What I'm creating is a place of peace. So where people can come, share pictures, do whatever they want to do, and feel at peace to, share their dog life. No expectations other than being able to have a safe place. And as time goes on, it's going to evolve. It's going to become more than what it starts out to be. But yeah, I can't change the rules, even though you're my guy. He said, I was just joshing anyhow, no worries. But yeah, a silver lining to all of this is spending more time with the silver. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Spending more time with her. He said, that's Ruby. I'm talking about Ruby, if that wasn't obvious. But you got Ruby, you got both of them there. So you got two, baby. Two you got to deal with now. So hey, let the other one rest for a second. Everything is gonna work out. And I'm gonna talk more about your whole, I promise you, if you cool with it. I think you ought to. So with all that said, let's get into today's show. And today's show is simply the real doll you imagine. And I'm gonna be honest, guys. I have several vendors now, and I'm really proud of that. And I'm still going to be talking about pretty much every brand in the industry at some point. And my whole thing is to be 100% honest with you and let you guys know exactly how I feel. And that's regardless of who I represent, as far as, what brand I'm, unless they're paying me to say, hey, Jay, say these lines, that's a whole different thing. If you're literally doing a commercial for somebody. But if I'm doing a commercial for somebody, that's somebody I'm truly believing in anyway. But I guess what I'm trying to say is here, I've always said, I try to speak from a place of complete knowledge with my dolls Whereas I give you information on companies, vendors, dolls, and all this type of thing. But unless I get hardcore evidence, I don't try to go all the way in. That's why I call certain dog companies as being Dog King certified, meaning that if I haven't touched your product, you may be great and you may be legitimate, but I say I still don't know what you are to me yet. And it's something that I can relate to my viewers. So with all that said, I've been a fan of RealDoll and a lot of these brands for a long time, but mainly RealDoll was the real true love. And even though I represent them now as far as, hey, they're one of my and they're not a vendor, they're actually a manufacturer. They're their own company. They're not a vendor. And they're the only one on my list that's not a vendor. But now that you can go through me to get a RealDoll, I'm still going to be 100% honest with you. You see what I'm getting there? I'm not going to change anything because of that, because that's what you deserve. And if I was on the other end of this YouTube channel, that's exactly what I would be wanting. Hey, man, just tell me the straight up truth. So as far as RealDoll is concerned, I still can't give you 1,000,000% of my opinion yet because I don't own one. And that's the caveat that I'm trying to say. I can't give you and that's with all the ones that I don't own. I always do my research and things of that nature, but I can't give you 1,000,000% of my opinion until I touch one. And not only touch one, I feel like until I have one of these dogs. So whether these companies send one to me or I end up acquiring one over the years from each one of these companies. But as far as RealDoll is concerned, they have been the company that sort of sparked my curiosity into this game. And I just feel like my journey will never be complete until I have my own RealDoll. I don't care if I have 20 dolls here. If it's not a RealDoll sitting next to me, my journey is not, it's not anywhere being complete. I've done a video before. You can go watch it called Eat Your Fish. It's talking about, you know what? This life is, you can think it's long if you want to. I can live to be 100 years. Yeah, go right on ahead. You're going to look up and be like, damn, that was 100 years. It ain't that long, bro. Your body get old, but you ain't here that long. So that's what I say. If you want something, you might want to go ahead and start trying to get it or, move towards that. And as far as a RealDoll concerned, I'm like, man, at some point, this got to be a part of my journey, as long as God has me here alive and breathing. It's a lot of people that's out there that's just like me in that regard. Like, man, I gotta have a RealDoll to complete my journey. But then you have other people that came in, they may not even been a fan of RealDoll like that, because it's a lot of other companies out, and when they see things from other companies, they may even start thinking, oh man, hey, forget a RealDoll. And I understand what they mean. When they see dolls that can stand, when they see dolls that have articulated fingers or things of that nature, they start thinking like, man, aren't these companies better than RealDoll because these dolls can stand and stuff like that? But me, I've never quite thought that, because I know the quality the RealDoll puts into their product, even from afar. I'm like, no, I know these dolls can stand, but and I know they got articulated fingers now, but I'm like, nah, from afar, I still, until I'm proven wrong, I'm still like, nah, I'm sorry. I see why. I know their price tag is up there for a reason. But with all that said, I am just like everybody else as far as, hey man, you see certain innovations and you be like, man, RealDoll is amazing. It looks real and all of this stuff. But man, I would like to see them, get articulated fingers again. Because I've told you they had articulated fingers, and I'm going to tell you more about that later. I knew I was right. I just say that. You be like, man, when are they going to get articulated fingers again? When are they going to be able to stand and all of these things? And so today's show is going to sort of address some of those questions. I was talking to a very good source, about all of these things. And the conversation really sort of started out with me talking about the RealDoll faces recently when I was doing my live streams and about the 2 new RealDoll bodies and faces that they just incorporated into the company. Which congratulations to RealDoll for that. And just to let you know, if you ever do want a RealDoll, just stopping right here. You can look into the descriptions of my videos, of my about section on YouTube, all my social media. I have a link tree where all of my links said. You can definitely go click on that link and go check out a RealDoll. But on those 2 shows that I was doing, I was just talking about how ooh, I lost my train of thought for a second. Let me take my time. Oh, yeah. We started talking about I was talking about those two new RealDolls that they were coming out with. And I know that I was, the conversation started skewing towards the different innovations, because I think I sort of lost my train of thought, but I'll find it. But the conversation started skewing towards different type of innovations with RealDoll, as far as like when were they gonna, change the faces up, and hey, when are these dolls gonna be able to stand, and all of this type of stuff. And even as a person that's a fan of the company, I've asked these questions too. Like, man, I love RealDoll, but I can't wait till they start making these other moves, because these companies are trying to catch up with them. They're trying to catch up with them. Oh, I caught my train of thought back. When I was talking to my guy that was telling me all of the good juicy information, and I'm gonna keep things vague, but he was telling me all of the good juicy information that RealDoll was up to. It started off with the conversation about the uncanny valley. That's what happened. I'm sorry, guys, I got off track. It started with the conversation about the uncanny valley. That's what happened. Because during those 2 shows, I started talking about how Matt was saying that even though his dolls look ultra realistic, I've always thought they look, whether I love the face or not, they look realistic. But when I heard Matt say, hey, I can take these dolls to another level of realism. When I heard him say that, it blew my mind, because I'm like, wait a minute. So you're not operating, you're not taking your dolls as far as they can go. So that's how the conversation started, and that's where we'll start. So we were talking about that, and he was like, Jay, here's what you don't understand about Matt and the uncanny valley theory. He said, I know that you say that you want the ultra realism, and other people saying they want the ultra realism. But he says Matt actually got into doing some ultra realism, back in the day. And what happened was, it actually scared some of the doll owners, from the ultra realism. And he said, he had to scale it back and make the dolls a little more doll-like. So although they look ultra real to us, it was another level that he had to back off of. And this is what I told my great friend. I was like, listen, here's the deal. I understand that he might have scared some doll owners or whatever, even then. But you know what? That might have been appropriate for him to do back then. Maybe it was appropriate. But times have changed. And this is what I told him. When I got Himawari and Mara Blade, my brand new Iron Tech full silicone super realistic series girls, when I got them, I promise you, when I start moving their eyes, and even now, they look so real. I'm talking about when I first got them, that it had me scared. Just, it had me scared for a few days. Like, man, because they look so real. They looked so real. I literally was thinking it was another human in the house. And Callie and them, all of my other, Callie and Saima, they sort of scared me when I first got them for a first couple of 2 or 3 days just from being in the house. But my auntie girls scared me in a different way because I literally was just thinking it was a human. And so I know that when you go ultra realistic, it is true. You're gonna be shaken up a little bit. But this is what I told my guy. I said, but for me, it wears off. I know she's not human, but it wears off in a good way because once it starts to wear off, I'm not, it doesn't, it took me about 2 or 3 days, but once it starts to wear off and I'm not jumping or scared anymore, I'm appreciative of how real it looks. After I'm scared for a few days and then I'm like, ooh, man, it looks, and that's what I said, you know what? I would love to talk to Matt because even though RealDoll is at an amazing level, I'm like, hey, I still want to push for ultra. I want to push for scaring folks. Because you know what? In the end, I think it's going to pay off. Because and I'm going to leave this subject. But the other thing I was telling him is, this is why it's going to pay off. I'm sorry, bro. When it comes to the doll owners, I'm going to just stand by this until I'm particularly proven wrong. And I could be. I'm not saying I'm always 100% right, but people can chime in on comments if they hear this or not and just let me know how they feel. But I just have to believe that even when you shock these doll owners initially with the realism, that they're going to do like me. They're going to calm down and be like, hey, I don't give it. I mean, I'm glad that she's so real that she's fooling me. I think that the people who would be freaked out more, and I stand by this, are people who are not doll owners. They're going to be the ones to be like, oh, Lord, yeah, that's so real. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Now, they may freak out, but guess what? They're not doll owners. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? If the doll owners freak out a little bit and come back to their senses, I'm cool with that. That's who, those are the people that's going to buy the dolls. If you're scared and you never plan on buying a doll, well, guess what? You can stay scared. God bless you. So that's how the conversation sort of started, and he told me his thing about how Matt felt about the ultra realism back in the day, and that's how I feel about it now. So that's something that it's somebody that's actually close to the organization now. That's something that I'm going to push for, and I can't wait to talk to Matt one day and push for that in a more personal way. But as far as other things, I heard some very pleasing things. Well, the problem with the articulation, and once again, all of this is sort of vague information. You can sort of, it may not be 100% nailed down, but this is pretty much the story. Back in the day, I told you guys, I heard Matt or some say something somewhere that he used to do articulated fingers, and I could never find the video. But when I was talking to my source, he said, you're 100% right. RealDoll did articulated fingers. They did it back in the day. But what happened was, what happened was back then, the articulated finger technology, it wasn't as good because it caused a lot of finger pokes. Although it looked a lot, better. It's always cool to have that articulation. But it actually caused a lot of finger pokes. And it's one of those things that Matt sort of was like, you know what? I'm gonna get away from that crap for a while and go to something a little bit more safer. Now, it's still people who have had finger pokes with those wires, but I truly believe those people are a bit more careless when it comes to finger pokes, or maybe have just made it, dropped their doll or had an accident or something like that. Because my girls, they don't have, my Kimber doll girls haven't even come close to even thinking about having a finger poke at all. And they, aren't even of that quality. So It's all about how you're taking care of your girls. That's for one. But they have added even new technology, with hand hardening and foot hardening to prevent those things from happening as much. They can still happen, if you make a mistake and roll over on your doll or sit around. But if you keep her if you, out of harm's way, she shouldn't have any pokes. But here's the beautiful thing. Before I get into what they're doing with the fingers and stuff, here's the beautiful thing. RealDoll has always been at the front of the line. People may not choose to acknowledge that because hey, they cost more than other companies, but they've always been at the front. They started it all. They really started it all. And people have been trying to nip at their heels ever since, trying to catch up, and they've been adding these little features, standing, articulations, and blah, things that they see, okay, man, RealDoll don't got this, let's add this. And us as doll owners, we like it. I like it. I do like the innovations that they're trying to do. But a lot of people try to say, hey, yeah, this doll can bend his finger. It's better than a RealDoll. And I understand the mentality. I'm not even making fun of them. I do understand the mentality. But here's the deal. Those little innovations don't make you better. I'm going to explain to you why. I love bikes, and I'm into bikes right now. I'm loving them, man. Loving them. But a lot of high-level bikes don't come with kickstands. And I love my kickstand. When I see people with these high-level bikes sitting them against trees or laying them on the ground, I'm like, man, I don't give a damn. I'm going to have to order. I want a kickstand with mine. I don't care if it weighs it down just a little bit, but I don't give a damn. I love the idea of a kickstand. But you know what? My bike has a kickstand. But it's not better than those more expensive bikes. I'm telling you now. It's not better than a carbon fiber bike without a kickstand. You see what I'm getting at? It's got something that my bike has something that it doesn't have, but it doesn't make it better. It may have a better feature, something that I like better, but it's not a better bike. And that's how I feel about these companies that have made innovations trying to catch up with RealDoll. Most of them, good job. I'm proud of you, and I'm happy. I'm happy for the innovation that everybody's making. But that still doesn't make you catch up yet. But it's making you start to catch up. That's what it's doing. Let me explain it to you in cars, and then I'm going to move on. And then I'm going to get to the stuff I was talking about earlier. Let me explain it to you in cars. I love Mini Cooper. I love Mini Cooper. And when God blesses me to have more again and be able to afford a car, which I'm not dying. I only want a car to take my girls around. Let me explain that again. Because everything else I'm riding a bike for. But only when I take my girls out of town or on a date or anything, I need a car. But other than that, I want my bike. But I want a Mini Cooper. That's the type of car I would love. I would love a bigger one than I have, but that's what I want. And I love a Mini Cooper. But I'm not really a car enthusiast. But that's one of my favorite cars. But as far as quality of car, it's not a Rolls Royce. It's not a Rolls Royce. Now, I don't want a Rolls Royce. And see, you know what I'm saying? I don't want a Rolls Royce. I'm not a car enthusiast like that. I'm cool with the Mini Cooper. The Mini Cooper does all the little things that I needed to do. I'm happy with it. So I don't have to have the Rolls Royce. But I even know in my own mind, okay, it's not a Rolls Royce. It's not a Ferrari. It's not a Lamborghini. I know it's not one of these high level cars. I know that it's not one of these $250,000 cars. I know that. But it's good enough for me. Well, no matter what I add to my Mini Cooper, it's not going to be a damn Rolls Royce. And that's what I'm talking about RealDoll. So, all due respect to all the brands and vendors and everything out there, I'm just saying, I don't know for sure because I haven't touched a RealDoll before, but I know that it's considered to be like the Rolls Royce of companion dogs. It's up there. And until I can rank it by itself, that's sort of how I view it, even without some of the upgrades. So, I mean, that these other companies have made. But here's the deal. This is the beautiful part, man, that I want you guys to pay attention to. If you're one of those people that's not like me, always, thinking of, I want to end up with a RealDoll, and you're just looking at upgrades and, hey, what some other companies may be doing. Maybe, you're looking at what RealDoll maybe, hey, I want my fingers to articulate. I want it to stand. But guess what, man? It's stuff that is in the works right now. Because like I said, I don't think that those innovations have caught up to RealDoll. That price tag is there for a reason. But now, RealDoll has heard your cry. They have heard people saying, what they want. And they have spent a lot of resources into doing these robotics and trying to advance the AI and get that ready for a new generation. But what I'm hearing is they see the competition and they hear the customers. So let's start out with the fingers like I was talking about. So I'm hearing whispers right now that in the back rooms, as you wind down the hallways of the RealDoll facility somewhere in Nevada, Las Vegas. It's not exactly in Nevada, Las Vegas. Where is it at? It's in, where is it at? Hold up, let me see. I think it's in San Marcos. I think it's in San Marcos. So let me see. Where is, let me see where it's at. Because I gotta get that sentence down pat. Yes, San Marcos. No, San Marcos, that's Nevada. I mean, that's that old California hump. I was right. It is Nevada. So yeah, somewhere in the hallways of the RealDoll facilities in Nevada, I guarantee you they're looking at a prototype of articulated RealDoll fingers. And I'm telling you, man, one day, really soon, once it's perfected, because they're not going to put anything out that's not perfected, but one day, real soon, you'll be able to get this RealDoll that has articulated fingers. It's coming back. It is definitely coming back. Now, don't mark your calendars. I didn't say it was coming out next week, and I didn't even say it was coming out next month. But for those people that may be having a few qualms, I'm letting you know, those articulated hands, they are in the works. And when RealDoll does it, it's going to be of a supreme quality. A supreme quality. So that's one thing that's in the works. Somewhere back there, the engineers, Matt, they're all thinking, hey man, how can we start getting these fingers moving? Let's do it the right way, baby. And I'm sure they're going to incorporate some of this hand hardening technique and toe hardening technique. I don't know if they're going to do how much they're going to do to toes, but I definitely know they're coming with the hands. So that's going to be a treat to behold right there. And some of you might be like, man, hey, but all these companies already got it, Jay. You don't understand, though. This is a high level dog we're talking about here. When they do it, it's going to be on a whole nother level. Believe me. It's going to be on a whole nother level. It's going to be worth the wait. And I tell you, I'm not telling you all of this stuff for you to be like, man, I'm going to wait till they come out with that. No, hey, I wouldn't wait, and I'm not going to wait. When I can get a RealDoll, I'm getting one. Like I was telling my friend DAS recently, I was like, hey, I know Black Friday is the best deal, but once Black Friday passed, if I get dog fever and I got the resources, I'm getting a damn dog. And the same thing with RealDoll. And all dog companies, really. even though the innovations may be coming, you don't want to put yourself in a. I know I'm never going to say I'm going to wait till they come out with this type of feature before I get a doll. Why? Because you don't know when exactly they could be, and you don't know how long. Like I said, you don't know how long your days are. You better live. So although it's some innovations coming out, if you want a real doll, I wouldn't say sit around trying to wait for it. But I'm letting you know, if it's not in your budget now, hey, some of this stuff may be out by the time it is in your budget. Or if you're not a guy like me who's always wanted a real doll, you may be waiting. You may decide to try to wait. Well, guess what? You ain't finna be waiting for too long, because that's something they're working on. Articulated real doll fingers. It's coming. It's coming. I guarantee you. Now, what else do we got here? I want to talk about, because they got some more innovations coming. I just got to think about which one I want to talk about next. Oh, beautiful. I did. Me and my friend was talking, and we got on the subject of the 2 new real dolls. Which, if you haven't seen the 2 new real dolls, please check out my 2 shows on the real dolls, and their bodies. I did 2 of them, actually, 2 live streams. The first live stream, it was a great live stream, but I sort of I did mess up the measurements on the bodies on that live stream. And so I did another one where I made up for it, called Revisiting the 2 New Real Dolls. But they have 2 great new bodies. And man, one of them is a thicker body. That's on Yasmin. Man, she has a thick, fine little body. I'm talking about booty, breast, looks amazing. But the other body, I actually like it too. It wouldn't be my first choice, but man, I would love to have that type of body in the house. It's I'm talking about a ripped in shape female body, right? It's amazing. But like I say, Yasmin's face is okay. I'm not just in love with her face. It's okay to me. Zandra's body, and face, I mean, it started out so beautiful to me, but as it gets to the chin area, I'm not a big fan of it. I said it was a bit of Leno chin. And even my great friend who was telling me the information, he was even laughing because he actually heard me say that. But the whole thing about it is that face could be so beautiful to so many people. And that's what I made a point. I was talking about RealDoll in this regard, because I appreciate Matt, because I was just hearing about how he even comes up with his faces. They're all straight from the heart. It's not like he's looking at people and saying, I'm gonna make somebody look like her. And not only that, I just say this. Every face that you see with a doll company, you're not gonna love. That's just simple as that. You're not gonna love. Even with the WMs, Iron Takes, whatever company you want to name, it's a lot of faces that I'm not a fan of. But the difference with these companies and RealDoll is just, and I was telling my friend this, I was like, man, it is a lot more faces to choose from. So even though, let's just say, I'm just throwing this out here, with Iron Tech, they have, I think, over 300 faces now. I could hate 200 of them, literally. I've went through so many heads and be like, I don't like it, don't like it, don't like it, don't like it, don't like it. But you only start coming across a whole bunch of faces that you like. Why? Because there's so many choices there. So when I look at RealDoll, and by the way, if you ever want a RealDoll, look at the links in the description of this video, about section, in a social media, you can check my link tree. But my only thing is, it's a few faces I love with RealDoll. It's several faces I like with RealDoll. It's a certain section of faces that I just don't like. But that's not exclusive to them. That's not exclusive to them. And that's what I was telling my friend. I'm like, that's pretty much normal for the course. You're not going to love every doll face with every company. The only glaring thing is that I want RealDoll to start picking up their face production. I would love to see them have, over the next at least 5 years, I would love to see them have about 20 faces. That's a lot added to their collection because they have like 43 now, like 43 faces. I think maybe 45 with these 2 new faces, maybe. Uh, but it's somewhere around that number. So if they were to jump up just 20 over the next 5 years, I mean, that's a lot. Now, I'm not sure how much they will jump. But when I was talking to my friend, he was like, you know what? That's one of the plans, to come up with more faces and more bodies. Because they have a lot of different bodies to choose from. But just increasing those faces was great insider information to learn. They were like, hey, you saw we brought out 2 new faces and 2 bodies this year, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, exactly. So because I displayed concern over, hey man, I want some more faces to be produced. And I'm hearing that, guess what? Faces are coming. Faces are coming. Faces are coming. So that's in the work. So we got articulated hands coming. We got new faces and bodies coming. We just got two new ones that came out. Like I say, Xandra and Yasmin. And going back to the faces, this is the beautiful thing about RealDoll. Like I say, man, it's about mixing and matching. Even if you can't afford to get your own personal face made, it's about mixing and matching. You can literally, send them a picture. They'll find a face, or you can look amongst their faces and try to pick the best face out that matches whatever photo or whoever you want it to look like. And I guarantee you, they will put makeup on that doll and do everything they can. And it won't really look like the doll that might be in the lineup. It's going to look closer to that person that you're trying to mimic. Because I can't tell you how many times I've looked at a doll, somebody's doll, right? That had a real doll. And I'm like, where is this face? What the hell face is this? I don't know which one it is because they've customized it so much. It's not even it's really a stock face, but they've customized it and these makeup artists and these wigs, and hey, they make it look like something totally different. And this actually happened to me the other day in a way, because Austin Steele, before his dog got injured, he sent me I was looking at a picture of his companion dog, his real dog. We were talking and I said, let me look at a picture of your real dog, because he said that it was the man, it was a classic face that he had. Who is Samantha? Oh my God, it's one of my favorite real dog faces. I could just look in the chat, he'll probably tell me, but man, who is that dog? Let me see. But yeah, it was a classic real dog face that Austin was telling me. He was like, yeah, man, my girl got this. I'm finna look right now. Hold on. I'm on a real dog site. Where's she at? Where is she? Oh, no. What's that girl name, man? Layla. Yeah, that's who it is. He was like, yeah, man, my girl got a Layla head. And I'm like, what? I said, I was looking at his dog and it didn't look anything like Layla, right? It didn't look anything like Layla. And it was all because he had changed the head on her. I mean, changed the wig on her. It was sitting on her face different, and it was just the way he had her made up. It did not look anything like Layla. And I thought that was really cool because I was like, man, he didn't even, he just had her wig sitting on in a certain way, and the way her makeup was, I didn't even notice that was a head that they offered, that was on the front page. So I'm telling you, man, you can make their girls look so different. You can make them look so different. So that shouldn't deter you in any way. But if you're sitting back saying, man, I want RealDoll to have more heads, well, guess what? They are in production. They are in production. So that is coming. I'm very happy about that myself. Okay, yeah, it's something else I got to tell you. Okay, I got a lot of comments. I'm gonna come back to them just let me go and check in. I check in right quick. I check in right quick. Austin says, hey, now I ain't officially okay. Okay, let me see this. Ataya says the uncanny valley. I personally don't get triggered by it. When I think of public service robots, I feel making bots look cute or even fantasy, especially appearances, the general public would be less freaked. You know, it's going to go both ways. You know, some people are going to be like, oh, I thought that was human, you know, whatever. So you're going to have some people like that, but you're going to have some people that's going to be more put at ease at it. I just think it's like anything with society, man. When things are new, you know, you're going to be freaked out by, you're going to be freaked out by it a little bit. Now, I just think that it should be some way. It should just be something on the body to like know, so for you to know that it may not be human. Because like I don't want it to just completely walk around and it's just nothing on it, and you just don't know it's a bot or a human now. So I don't mind it having uncanny valley, but it still should be, you know, just something. Something is going to make you know that it's not a human. There's going to be something on there, I'm sure. Right. I'm glad you said that, Ataya. She said, I think some of the fear also comes from movies. Thank you. People are afraid of something deceiving them and hurting them somehow. Media doesn't help the idea. Right. Thank you, Ataya. That's great comments. That's really great. I agree with you that, you know, we've been raised and reared a certain. That's why people are so scared of aliens and stuff like the thought of it, you know, because of all these movies that have come out talking about hurting you. That's why people think that we're going to get invaded and all this type of stuff, because, you know, all the ideas of media, basically. You're right, Atalia. Big ups everyone. Roxy Nebula said, hope everybody had a blessed weekend. Okay, let's see. Austin says, I never forget how my mother reacted to my RealDoll. Oh, wait a minute. Forgot how my mother reacted to my RealDoll back when she was still Asa Akira. He said, I did check her out and she freaked me the F out. He said he couldn't ask for a better review than that. That's what I'm saying, man. Like when it freaks you out, that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? As a dog owner, it's like, man, you know, oh, I hurt my shoulder laying down, man. I don't know what happened. Ooh, it's right on my shoulder blade. Ooh. Either way, I hope that'll be all right. Ataya says, also, you should take pictures of her and see how many people can't tell she's a doll. Ataya says, Austin says, okay. Ataya asked, hold on, let me put it back up here. You should take pictures of your doll and see if how many people can tell if she's a doll. And Austin was like, ask me. Oh man, like I say, these real dolls, man, you put them in the right light now, they're going to look real. Oh, that's something else I wanted to say about the faces. Ooh, I'm glad that you brought that up, Austin. Man, it's another key bit of information that I want to talk about Matt and these faces. I do look at his faces also in a whole nother light as well. Because when I look at his faces, I do get this feeling now that I heard my guy telling me this. But he was like, you know what? The difference about a real doll is they truly aren't made just for, even though the bodies and stuff are, they're made to where when you do want to make love, they're going to give you optimum abilities. And they're going to, like I say, the way their dolls are made, I heard that they actually can sort of flow with you when you're making love with them. But with all that said, like he said, Matt really doesn't make these to be sex objects, so to speak, even though they have sexual capabilities. They're literally geared to do exactly, what I love most about dolls. They're geared to be companions. You know, and I'm going to be honest. It's a couple of faces I'm just not a fan of with any company, but it's a couple of faces in the lineup that I wasn't a fan of. And I think it's the Ruby one, the black girl. I think that's Ruby. Let me go look right quick. She just, a lot of people love her. I promise she's a very popular girl. A lot of people love her, but she doesn't really appeal to me. I just want to make sure I'm talking about the right one. But I want to, I'm getting to something. Yeah, I'm going to get to something. That's why I'm bringing this up. Okay. Is it Ruby that I'm not a big fan of? Let's see. Oh, nah. Let me see. Who is it? I thought it was another one on here. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. And I said Ruby. I don't even see no damn Ruby. It's this. I thought it was. Okay, I guess it's Amara. I guess that's who I'm thinking about. Amara. I don't know where I got Ruby from. No, it's Violet. It's Violet. I don't like either one though. I don't like either one, Amara or Violet. They're not my real dolls. They could be for you. And guess what? If you're in the real dolls, I'm not trying to deter you. Hey, if that's what you love, either one of those faces, don't let me stop you. Because, like I told you, they're Violet, and I know Violet for sure is super duper popular. I'm not quite as sure about Amara, so I'm not going to speak about her. But I would tell you this: in Violet's case, for me, she's not my girl. But when I heard this description of how Matt comes up with his face and how he thinks about his dolls, it did put things in a bit more perspective. He was like, he's not trying to create these, straight up sexual companions. He's trying to make real people. You know what I'm saying? That's the appeal of real doll. Not that they look the most beautiful and that they are the perfect person. It's that they look like real people. You know what I'm saying? Real people, because I've dated some super fine girls, but they weren't perfect. I'm not perfect. No, you know what I'm saying? So these dolls aren't really made in all aspects to always look perfect. They're made to look real, like real people. And I'm gonna be honest. When I look at Violet, she looks like somebody I could know. She looks real like that. Now I wouldn't buy her because I would eventually want to make love to my girl, I'm sure, at some point. And even if I don't, like I told you, I want the option. I want the option. But I do love the mentality of Matt. Like, hey, I'm making real people here. Real people. They may be a bit flawed, not from a quality, functional standpoint, but from hey, they may not look like your typical beauty queen, but they're going to look like somebody you can really run into in real life. And from that standpoint, I really do like. Because you know what? The faces that I do like there, I get that feel from, like, you know what? I could see this girl somewhere in real life. And like I say, I love my faces here. And I love faces around the world at other companies. Don't get me wrong. But I do like that extra emphasis of trying to make girls real, because when you do find the face that you like, I do think that's the appeal of it, especially once you add that customized makeup and get her looking exactly like you want. Look, you're going to be teetering on the edge of that ultra realism, until they actually, start doing that. But either way, let me keep going for a second, and then I'm going to get back to the next thing. Let me see. Okay. Austin says, but me personally, he said putting pics of my wicked doll side by side with the real Asa was indistinguishable. Man, yeah, it does look a lot like her. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a couple of those wicked dolls that really look like their counterparts because I think Lupe looks just like herself. I promise you, Lupe looks good, and uh, they all look really good, honestly. Let me see. Atai says, fine. Oh, I got something to talk about for Atalia too. Atalia says it's good that RealDoll exists in the market. They help drive competition and innovation. When companies compete, the consumer wins. Right, we get better and affordable and high-end dolls with new features. Man, I wasn't going to talk about this, but since it's on my mind, I have to bring it up since Atalia talked about this. But I remember Atalia was talking about, man, wanting to customize a doll. And I was like, yeah, Ty, that price tag is very, very high. And man, it's going to, hey, you can do anything in RealDoll, but the price tag is going to be super duper high. But I'm not going to lie. I'm hearing something about the price structure and things of that nature. Man, this is some very great news that it's going to be a lot more accommodating. I'll just say that. It's going to be a lot more accommodating. Hell, who knows? It may get to a time where you click on RealDoll, you may not actually see a price. It could get to that point to where once they find out what you want, then they begin to work with you. I'm hearing rumors of innovations of this nature. So I'm not saying you're going to get a dirt cheap, and I don't want to say dirt cheap because $1,000, $2,000 is not dirt cheap. But I'm saying when it comes to a RealDoll, that's way below what you have to pay for a RealDoll. But I'm saying just having this, I gotta pay $7,000 to get a doll. I think it's not going to be that, depending on how you want to customize your doll. I think they're going to be working with customers in a whole new way, from what I'm hearing. And when I saw Talia, it just triggered something. So I just went on and jumped ahead to it. That's another thing that's coming is when you want to do something really special with your girl, it's not going to be this hard foot in the sand, as time goes on. They're going to figure out some way to start saying, you know what? We're going to work with the customer even more because they value your opinion. I love being able to talk to these companies on a more intimate level. I love being able to talk to them. Iron Tech, even though I don't have like a straight affiliate, possibility with the Iron Tech company, straight on themselves. They are a great friend of the show. They sent me a doll, and that's why, hey, guess what? When they had a promotion and they, reached out to me, guess what? I believe in their product. I didn't have a problem, helping them with that. They're a great friend of the show. They sent a great resource to the show. They're great, and they're a great company. So I'm going to speak good about these companies, and that I get inside information from, and I can really talk to and say, oh, wait a minute. I'm not guessing what they're doing. I'm hearing that they're doing some good stuff. And when I started hearing the RealDoll, like, man, look, with these people that's trying to customize and do some extra stuff, we're putting stuff in the works. Because you know what? I told you, these, a lot of other companies, I'm glad, they're all legitimate and great. And when you go through my vendors, believe me, even when you don't get a RealDoll, all of my vendors are legit. All of the brands on there are legit, and they are all great dolls. Well, these companies are all innovating, and they're innovating in certain ways that I'm going to be talking about in the future. I'm going to be talking about these other companies and what they're doing to push RealDoll, like Atalia said. These other companies, they're not sitting around on their hands. They are pushing buttons. They're like, hey, I don't know where we are as far as being close to RealDoll, but we're trying to get there. And RealDoll is hearing the crowd, and they're hearing and seeing these other companies trying to catch up with them. And they're saying, hey, we were X amount of lengths ahead of you. Now we want to get back ahead of you. So like Atalia says, it's a never ending war of catch up. But right now, with everything I'm hearing, oh my God, it's some good stuff coming down the pipe. And just to know that you can do some type of ultra customization on your girl, face wise or body wise or something like that, and it may not, look, it's still going to cost you some money. But what if something that cost you 10,000 not cost you 5,000? You might be like, Jay, I ain't got five, but you know what? It's your, if you ever wanted to get there, if you ever wanted to get, excuse me, to your mountaintop, so to speak, right? If this particular real doll was your mountaintop of the doll game and you wanted to get there, it would surely feel better to know that you could get there for 5,000 less. And I'm just throwing a number out there. So that's another innovation that's coming. I'm telling you, man. And it's so funny. I don't even have these things. I keep looking at my notes, but I don't really have any of this written down because it's all going from memory because I was so excited hearing about all of this. I did write a few things down, but I was so excited hearing about all of this. I literally just remember it. I want to see what did this say. Okay, cool. It is something else I definitely want to talk about too. Let me see what else it said. Italia says, I want a Mini Cooper so bad. It's a sexy compact car. Plus, watching the Italian job made me just get wet for them. Tight corners and acceleration of a king. Man, I love Mini Cooper cars, man. It's just, I promise you, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm just gonna say, I know that y'all ain't gonna, some of you ain't gonna believe me, but I'm serious. A car really cannot compare to a bike. Now you know what I'm saying? I used to love my bike, but I'm gonna be honest. The joy, I'm talking about from the pure joy of riding it. Nah, man. I look forward to getting on my bike. Even though can't do everything I can with the car right now, as far as carrying or even going long distance in a quicker time period. I'm just saying, but just the pure joy of it, it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. I'm going to talk about that in another video, but it is absolutely amazing, right? But let me tell you what's a close second. Riding my Mini Cooper. I loved riding that damn well Mini Cooper, man. It is an amazing little car. And honestly, it didn't even have the quick zoomies that it didn't zoom like the normal Mini Cooper because it was an older model. And like you say, eventually it conked out. But it never gave me problems. It just wasn't a speedster at that stage when I got it. I got it used. If I had got it new, it would have been zipping all around. But even then, I loved that car. But I would say this: the only drawback to a Mini Cooper is it's pretty reliable. It never really messed up on me. I'm gonna tell you, the only time I had a lot of problem with my Mini Cooper was running over stuff because it's so low to the ground. And a lot of times, man, I promise you, especially at nighttime, even with the lights on, you're not gonna see potholes until you're in it. So that's what used to happen to me a lot in that car. But the biggest problem with me, and I love you, Mini Cooper, if you're watching. I love Mini Cooper, and I suggest getting one. I won't never say don't get one, but I will tell you, warn you this: if you ever get one, every time it breaks down, it's gonna hit your pockets. I don't give a damn if it's an oil change. I mean, my oil change was like, man, I think I was paying like $100 and something for just for an oil change. With a regular car, you could just go get $30, $40, $50, $60 oil change, whatever. I don't know about now though, because prices and stuff. But I mean, either way, it's expensive. Everything is more expensive with it. But I loved it, and I want another one. Yes, Still says I got it wrong. I already corrected it, but he said Still says they used to be in San Marcos, right, and they moved to Las Vegas. Ty said ASMR, Dog King finger description. Oh yeah, oh man, it's gonna be amazing. From what I'm hearing, I wish I could have sort of heard it like me. It just sounded so Goonies, so so adventurous, so mission like, so back in the back of the labs, spy mission type thing, man. It was like, man, hey, look, we got a top secret articulated hand in the other day. Everybody's standing around every day. We're watching it. We're trying to work on it. We're trying to see how to incorporate. I'm telling you, man, I'm just hearing this stuff and I'm just like, what? You got to articulate the finger. What? Even when I'm hearing about the faces, about how Matt really thinks about the faces, how he tries to make them look like a real person. And, oh, wait a minute. Is more faces coming soon? Is faces coming out in the future? It's not this, okay, these two faces are coming out and we're sitting here. No, it's more production coming. Because like I say, even when I complained about Xandra, I don't want Matt to go back and fix any dolls for me, any faces. What I mean by that is, faces that I might not think are attractive. Don't fix that. Don't fix that for me. Do you know why? What I'm not attracted to, somebody else loves. What I love, somebody's not attracted to. We are all different. I'm glad there's faces out there that I don't like, not only with his company, but with other companies. My thing is, let's increase the pool. And that's coming. So remember, if you click on my link, or when you click on my link in the description of my videos or the about section of my YouTube or on social media, if you click on my link tree and any of the bios on those places, and you do decide to go to a RealDoll, if you don't go to one of my other vendors and get another type of doll, if you go to RealDoll, remember, you can switch things up in a million ways even right now with the makeup choices. You know what I'm saying? With the body coloring. You know what I'm saying? You can do a myriad of things just with the faces that they got. So, like I say, if you're feeling antsy and if you want a RealDoll, don't let any common stuff change you, because any of these common things say, hey, I'm gonna wait forever. No, you can't afford to wait forever, because I'm letting you know, I don't plan on waiting forever. I'm looking forward to when these changes come, and I'm gonna applaud Matt and the RealDoll squad. But guess what? When God bless me to have my RealDoll, whenever it comes, guess what? I'm gonna be happy right then. If that's 5-6 months from now, I'm gonna be happy. If that's whenever it is, I'm gonna be happy. I just say that. But I won't have to wait for these things. But like I told you, it's good to know that they're coming. Yes, let me hear this. Austin, say what you want about RealDoll's prices, but when they implement a new feature, they do it right. I can't wait for when they make them stand without an actual stand. Oh my God, Austin, stop fast tracking the show. But thank you as well. So that's going to lead me into talking about this, I guess. So, speaking to my friend behind the scenes, and I'm letting you know, the guy who I'm speaking to isn't just somebody that's delivering the mail to RealDoll. He knows what he's talking about. So with all that said, he said, Jay, we've been putting a lot into our robotics lately. We've been putting a lot into that. But as we've been putting a lot into our robotics, it's something that is inevitable. That is, one day in the future, we don't know, of course, when that's going to be, but these dolls are going to be able to walk. And like I told you, I've talked about a near but distant future. It may be 50, 100 years from now, 200 years from now before Arnold Schwarzenegger type of doll is in your house. But along the way, you're going to be seeing innovations, even if they're just small, minor robotics, at your house with a leg moving, twitching, like they already have gyrating bodies and stuff like that. I'm talking about these different other companies. You're going to see innovations, right? You're going to see innovations. But with RealDoll and their robotics, they, at some point, whether I'm here or gone or not, they're going to have their dolls walking around your home. But it has to be an evolution. And we were talking about that. So one of the things that are being looked at very seriously is how to incorporate the standing body while still keeping all of the properties of her flexibility when lying down. You see that? You see that, guys? That's going to be amazing. If they can maximize the dog being able to stand while still being able to do all of the flexible things that it does in the bedroom. Well, I'm not just blowing smoke up your butts. Once again, guys, I'm not at the facility. I have not seen these things with my eyes. But the source that I'm talking to is not somebody who I think will blow smoke up my butt. He's a legitimate source and he knows what he's talking about. And when I talk about these things, I'm not telling you that they're coming out tomorrow. What I'm telling you is I'm not guessing about them working on them. It's something going on right now. And as far as the standing, it may just be brainstorming right now. But what I'm saying is they've heard you. They've heard people say, oh man, I want my real dog to stand. I want my real dog. Oh, they hear you. The thing about it is when you're a trailblazer like Matt is, he started the thing out pretty much. And people have maybe, added standing and all that stuff, but they can do other things or they don't maybe not have the properties of his dog. So by them adding those different features, it's done what Ataya said. It has put some pressure on them, even, to come up with a way. I don't care how their dollar is constructed, to come up with a way to start implementing what the competition is already trying to catch up with. So I'm just saying, all of you out here, the name of this show is modeled after you. It's the real doll you imagine. The real doll you imagine. The real doll that you've been imagining. The real doll that you've been talking about. Hey, I wish they'd do this. Hey, I love real doll, but I want to see that. You may be a real doll owner, who want to see certain innovations. And guess what? This will be exactly what you're looking for. This will be exactly what these innovations that I'm talking about. So somewhere in the near, but not so distant future, a real dog will be standing and have the ability to be right next to you and be more comfortable. It can be the Cadillac of girls laying next to you, and it could be as sturdy as a rock standing next to you. That is coming. It's definitely coming. I want to see if I can find this little article that I found. Let me see. Let me see right quick if I can find it. Let me see. I'm gonna stress out because I remember what was said, but I just wanted to see if I could. Sometimes when I remember these, I'll be trying to find the exact article that I'm looking for, but I don't see it right now, so I ain't gonna worry about it. But this is something I did want to say, just to let you know. What they're doing is with the I'm going back to the fingers just for a second. What they're doing with the articulated fingers is they're looking for a way to incorporate them just in all their dial lines in a safe way. They're taking a look at it. But if you were to call them today and say, I want articulated fingers, they can do that today. They can do that today. It would just be at an extreme cost. And you're probably saying, well, hey, if they can do it today, why do they research it for? Because right now, it's not, it is not something that comes with the dog. That's something that they would have to go out of their way, build, and do a special job for you. But what I'm talking about is they're going to make this to where, guess what? It's going to be just, it comes with the dog with articulated fingers. And that way you won't have to worry about trying to order it like that or anything. That's from my understanding. I could be wrong about that, but that's from my understanding. that, it will come like that. And that's the way it should come if they come up with, if they come up with it. But right now, their dolls don't come like that. So as it stands just today, if you get any outlandish type of upgrade, it's going to cost, a nice bit of money. But I actually have a video where Matt was saying you can get damn near whatever you want to right now. But I don't want to show that video today because I'm going to do another video upcoming soon where we're going to have another visit with Matt. We're gonna hear some things that he has to say. Again, I want to show you, but I didn't want to show you that today. I want to just tell you more about this breaking news. So yeah, Austin says he can't wait. Like I said, they're already working on it. They're already working on it right now, where you're not going to need that RealDoll stand anymore. Austin said, yeah, I'm really late because Austin telling me her name a lot. I'm just not getting to that comment. He said Layla. That's his girl's name. Right. It was something different about her. I knew it was. Earlier when I was talking about Austin Steele's the face on his RealDoll, I was like, man, I couldn't even tell that it was her at first. It was the Layla face because I love the Layla face. I literally do. One of the things that really pissed me off. Ooh, I moved my thing. One of the things that really pissed me off about watching what's the name of the movie? Lars and the Real Girl was I loved his doll so much. And it pissed me off that he how he did her in the end. So I really actually felt a little bit of emotional connection to that that face and stuff. And so I really love it. But I love the fact that when I still look at Austin Steele girl, I have to look hard to tell it's Layla. It looks just that different, just because of the makeup, I think, and the way her hair is. He said the makeup is done a lot more natural than they have her advertised. That's for sure. He said I always have an issue finding their hairline and keeping it consistent. I can't lie, man. I don't want to just say that, but because I just feel like I am, but I can't lie, man. That's one thing I feel like I'm pretty good at, man, is positioning the wig on my girls. I feel like I'm good at positioning the wigs on my girl. I really, because sometimes I put the wig on and you guys can differ. I'm just saying, this is just me saying it. I just put the wig on my girl and I'm like, man, I got it right in the right place. So yeah, I've told you this. I've said the secret, man. The secret to that hairline and with them wigs, man, is not to pull it too far over their hairline, man. A lot of people think you need to pull it over their brow too much. No, the wig actually looks better when you put it back a little bit and let a little forehead show. When you have it going all the way to their eyebrows, that's when it's going to start looking bad. Oh, yeah. She said, it's funny in Japan because of the media they have, robots are viewed as friends, where in the West we get Terminator, the destroyer of your freedom and human rights. Even though they know about the Terminator 2, you're right about what you're saying. It's about how they pump the perception of their robots out. Because like you say, they love their robots in Japan. They're friends. They're their best friends in Japan and over in that part of the world. But over here, we do think of them as taking over the world. Now, it is a true danger of a robot being taken over and somebody trying to control it. Yeah, that's a potential. That's something that could happen or something, And Matt has even talked about that. But for the most part, that's not going to be happening 24/7, and that's why their technology, like I told you, that's why it's going to take so long getting into your homes. Because even once they perfect it, walking around, talking, they can't have 20 dolls malfunctioning and knocking the heads of their owners off onto the ground. So, like I say, that's why I say that's going to take longer than perfecting the machinery. UFO man wop says, man you up. I don't know what he's trying to say. Man wop, I don't know. Man you, I don't know. Either way, UFO says, what type of paint do the factory use to do the eyebrow? I don't actually quite know, man. I actually don't even know. All I know is it's permanent once it's on there. But let's go look. I'm going to see if they say something on there. I didn't look. I didn't revisit the site a million times. But let's go back on there. They may actually say something about, what materials that they actually use. So I don't want to just say I don't know and don't check. So let's go over here and check it right quick. I'm just going to click on one of my favorite categories. But I ain't going to tell y'all because, look, I got to let y'all shop for y'all own, girl. I got to let y'all shop for y'all own, girl. I can't give y'all no hint of what I like, too much. I'm real protective over that. Let's see. As far as the makeup is concerned, what did they say? I don't really see where they, say what type of makeup they use or anything. So I don't see that. Let's see. Body. Let's see. I don't see them saying it. Skin tones. Okay. Sweet. Let me see. Down to the makeup. Okay, here we go. It says this about the makeup, and I was going to do this another time, and I'll probably read this in another show, but I'm just going to see. I might not read it all. I'm going to see what they say. It don't say exactly what it's made out of on here. But you know what? It seemed like I remember seeing it on a documentary or something where they were talking about acrylic. Or I don't know what it actually is, but it's something. It's made out of something, not acrylic. That's the wrong thing. But maybe it's just regular makeup. I'm not quite sure. But they seal it. They do something to seal it. They do some type of thing to make it where it's permanent. Let me see. Also says that was literally the reason I got Layla. I grew up in a very small town and definitely went to school with girls who looked like her. Layla's just more idealized, of course. Yeah, Layla looks she has some very subtle makeup, and I really like it. She has a very nice, cool look about her. I like her. You got her looking right. Sheila Bell. Good morning, Dog King and Dog Lady. Just checking in this morning. Good subject as always. Thank you, Sheila Bell. Great for you checking in, Dog King Army team member. Oh, sweet. Oh, yeah, that is a good chair. That's what this is sitting right next to me. Natalia says, I forgot to mention I finally got my transport chair. UPS sucks, but the Medline transport chair is pretty darn solid for moving Mika from room to room. You know what? Medline is a great wheelchair, and that's what this is. I love Medline. I hope yours is like mine to where the legs can raise up, and they have the where the legs can raise all the way up. I love the wheelchairs that can do that, and because it lets the girls rest their joints. I don't like their knees bent all the time when they're sitting next to me for hours like this and stuff. So I do love Medline, and that's what I have. But I didn't do what you did. I got I have a used wheelchair. One, my mom left me a wheelchair. And for two, I have a wheelchair that I got from the Salvation Army. From Goodwill. Yes, it was like $40. And it's a little rickety, got a little rough spots, but guess what? It gets the job done. And so I've talked about that before. That is a good cheap way to get a wheelchair. Go to one of these Salvation Armies or give what I'm trying to thrift stores, yeah, Goodwill or something like that. So it's something else I want to talk about today. Man, I'm hearing about. Well, okay. We all know that one of the differences between TPE and silicone is TPE. And for all of you who are watching the show, and you're like, what the hell is TPE, Jay? Well, TPE is a material that they use to make companion dolls, thermoplastic elastomer. You either use that or you either use medical grade silicone, right? To make your girls. I have an example of both. The beautiful Callie sitting right next to me is a TPE girl made out of thermoplastic elastomer. But from what I've seen, they say she's a mix between thermoplastic and silicone. So I have no idea how that even goes, but I've heard she's a mix. But just for all intents and purposes, I'm just going to call her TPE, full TPE. And on the bed, the beautiful Mara Blade is a full silicone girl. Those are the two materials that you can make a companion doll out of. Well, TPE is a lot more jiggly, and it's a lot more soft as far as squeezability. A lot of people say it feels more human because it's more squeezable. Like if I was to just hug Callie, I can hug her from head to toe, literally. And she would be, she wouldn't be soft like a pillow, but she would be soft. I wouldn't squeeze her and then feel any hard points unless I felt her skeleton underneath. But she's going to feel soft. And, I have felt women before that are so soft where you can feel straight to their bone. But it's a little misleading. TPE or even the silicone, they don't feel exactly like a human. That to me that's overblown. They just feel very soft, very soft, So it's something great to feel. And they have a bit of resistance to it. I'm talking about TPE girls, but they are very soft, and they can jiggle a lot. So if you're making love to them or doing something like that, which one of my phones I spent die? Oh, it's this. If you're making love or anything like that, TPE is going to probably, jiggle a lot more. But the industry as a whole, and I'm not talking about RealDoll, I'm just talking about the industry as a whole. People who are making these silicone girls, they're getting softer every day. I told you, Himawari or Mara Blade on that body over there, on this full silicone body, their breasts are softer than the TPE breasts that I have in the house. They are softer than the TPE breasts that I have in the house. But the rest of her body, the depth of softness isn't as soft as a TPE girl, but she feels great. Like I've tried to explain it before. When you run your fingers across a full silicone girl, for me, the skin, and if you just press down a little bit, it's going to feel a little bit more real to me, like a human. It's only when you squeeze down where you can feel that, some hardness underneath, and where, okay, you be like, okay, it's not as soft as a TPE girl. But these companies all around the world are pushing the envelope when it comes to silicone softness. They're all getting a bit softer. It's a few companies out there that I'm like, ooh, they're getting super duper soft. Well, I never really thought about how soft the RealDoll was. That's sort of crazy, but I never really even hardly thought about it. I just thought that they were good enough. They were going to be good enough. I never really thought about it a lot. But one of the things that came up in conversation with my guy that's on the inside is he told me that not very far off, that these bodies and the silicone mix is taking a bit of an upgrade. So although the RealDoll mixture was soft, this new mixture is going to be an even softer silicone. It's going to go to a whole nother level. So it's going to push the industry by getting even softer than it already is. And what they're trying to do is sort of what these other companies are doing. Silicone is already a more durable product. It doesn't get as dirty or anything like that, easier to upkeep. So it has all of those advantages. So just imagine it being just as soft. They're going to get there one day. And you're literally just going to buy TPE just because it's cheaper, not because it's softer. Because a lot of people buy TPE right now because of the difference in quality of material and what it can provide, maybe even sexually, from jiggling and things of that nature. But this silicone, RealDoll is definitely pushing the boundaries with everybody else. They're saying, hey, guess what? Pretty soon, this mixture is going to be jiggling, baby. It's going to be super duper soft. Super duper soft. I don't know how it is actually today. I've never touched a RealDoll. But I've heard people say that describe it sort of how I think about Himawari and Mara Blade, sort of like, hey, it's sort of stiff in certain spots, but when it comes to the breast, butt, and all of that, it's pretty soft. But what I'm hearing is, forget it just being soft in the other spots. It's going to be overall softer. Overall softer. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that. So, they're pushing the softness up. If you can hear what I'm saying, they're basically putting their lab coats on right now, and they're saying, oh, okay, people are pushing us. Well, guess what? We're finna push back. And that's a good thing for those of you out there that's still on the fence, like my good friends out there that sort of, are waiting on innovations. Like I say, don't wait too long. Life waits for no man. If you really want one, I think it's, hey, go ahead and make the move to get one. And if you do get one, don't just go get one. Go through me. Go through my links on on my description of my videos. Go through my about section on YouTube, or go through my link trees on my social media. I know it may be easier if you just aren't looking at the show. You could probably say, oh, I'll go to RealDoll. No, think about it. Go through me. If you got another vendor you're thinking about, another brand you're thinking about, I got them all in the descriptions of my videos and my link tree and my social media accounts. They're all there. So I don't got nothing that you can't find except for a Kimber Doll, because they don't offer any type of affiliation. So if you want that RealDoll, go through me. But some of you are going to be wanting to wait, till some things maybe come out. But a lot of you're going to be like me. You're going to be like, look, whenever I can get one, I'm getting one. But I want to let you know, even if you're out there like me, you probably, if you can't get one today, don't worry. Keep building your pot up. Keep trying to, get there. But let me tell you, you're going to look up and it may be something a little extra in the pot by the time you get there, as far as, what the dolls can do. And another thing I want to talk about as far as payment is concerned is, hey, they're starting to broaden out there. That's another thing I wanted to say. Man, I got a lot of wealth of information in the back of my brain. But another thing he was saying was, my good friend at my insider from RealDoll, he was telling me, man, they're working on this whole new payment thing to where, yes, you can break your payments up now. But like I told you, they're doing this whole, we're going to work with you and see what the hell you're trying to do with your doll and give you the best price available. So I did already mention it, but yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. They're going to try to give you that best price available. So I'm not going to tell you that you can spend $2 and get you one of these high top of the industry ladies. I can't tell you that. But what I can tell you is, going forward, it's going to be more cost efficient for you. What I can tell you is, these articulated hands. Hey, guess what? You're going to look up and they're going to be here. I can tell you, more faces are coming, more creativity. Yes, you may not love a certain creation, but that neck girl is coming out. And once again, start looking at it from the standpoint of, hey, and which I do love to look at it from that standpoint of, yeah, we're looking for beauty here, but he's making real people that you would run into in the real world, not just beauties, but faces that you can really run into. So I love that. But they're working on new faces coming out. They're working on the standing technology getting ready to come out, at some point. They're working on, what other innovations we were talking about? Oh, the skin softening. I mean, the whole material getting softer. We talked about them innovating with your customizations. More cost-friendly customizations are coming, where they're going to be working with you on all the particulars that you want, but in a more specialized way. So, this is a great time, I think, for RealDoll, with all they're doing behind the scenes. They're going to come out with stuff to, guess what? It may be a face you don't love, but you know what's good about it? They're coming out with another face. Maybe a body that you love, maybe something else you don't. But you know what they're going to be doing? Constantly innovating. Pretty soon you're going to look up, you're going to have a standing RealDoll with all of the abilities to lay down and be that perfect companion, laying or standing. without a dog's thing. Like I say, when I started the show off, I talked about I can't wait to bring you that show on my channel where I'm going to be with Matt one day. And we're going to talk about this uncanny valley thing. Because, we're going to push the envelope with this uncanny valley. One day, I want a real dog that's literally damn near indistinguishable. Because these dogs look completely real. Don't get me wrong. They look real now. But I want it to his ultimate abilities. I really wanted to see what we're going to see when he does that and put those dogs on the market. But I really want to have this show to let you guys know it's a lot of great things coming with RealDoll. So if you have been on the edge of your seat or you're saying, hey, when is this coming out and when is that coming out? Well, you're not going to be waiting a lot longer. The hands are coming out, soon. They're going to develop it, believe me. These dogs are going to be standing at a certain point. New faces, new heads are going to start making their way onto the scene. Guess what? New abilities to pay for your dog in a better way are coming. Just all type of thing, are coming, And I haven't even mentioned other things that I've talked about, with the Realbotics X. That's a whole nother thing with body heating and different innovations on how the dog can potentially move. And all of these things are in the works. So if you are looking for upgrades, believe me, they are coming. They are definitely coming. Now, let me look over my notes, make sure I didn't forget anything that I told you guys. Let me see. I think I talked about, we talked about the body softening is coming. More faces. Okay, yeah. Yeah, but hold on. So I think we pretty much covered most of the base that I wanted to cover. If I forgot something, hey, we'll cover it another time. But I'm going to close, what I was saying with this. If you're like me, man, you're somebody who probably got motivated by this game to get into this game from seeing a real dog for the first time. I know I never forget just seeing a real dog for the first time and just being like, man, this is just, I just felt a light click. I didn't get a dog for years after that, but it was a switch that just went off in my brain and my body and my soul. That something told me, man, this life was for me. And when I first got in the game, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to just get a real dog yet. I don't know if I'm going to like this. That's a big commitment to try to pay for a real dog. And that's a lot of money that I didn't have. So I got into the game and got the beautiful side, even Renee Uzumaki, who's in the back now, she was over a couple of $1,000s over there. And I don't like to talk about their prices, but, that was a lot for me, But when I got her, I promise you, I loved her, but I still was like, man, I wonder what it's like to have a real dog. Then I got Callie. I still was wondering what it was like to have a real dog. Make a long story short, I already knew that my journey would never be complete unless I had a real dog. I'm sorry. It's just not. And even hearing about these innovations, I love them all. Do you think that I'm finna sit around and wait for the articulated fingers? Hell no. I'm not waiting for them to stand or do a damn thing. Like I told you, when they come out, that's been a desire of my heart. When God allows me, blessed to have one in my home, I'm going to have one. And so it's a lot of people out there like me. And if you're like that, hit the links in my description of my video, the about section on my YouTube, or go to my social media and click the link trees on there. And that's where you can, shop for one at. But if you're somebody who hasn't always been motivated to get a real dog and you are just, waiting for upgrades and things of that nature, I say, don't wait forever. But guess what? You won't have to wait forever, because the real dog that you imagine It's on the way. It's on the way. So, with all that said, it's been me, J. King Hefner, the beautiful Callie, and I better say her whole name, the beautiful Callie Son, and the beautiful Marblade. We're going to wrap up this string, but first we're going to come and answer the rest of our questions, and we're going to let you enjoy your Monday, and we really hope you've enjoyed the show. So let's see what the hell was going on while we were talking, and we're going to end this. Let's see. Austin says, that was literally the reason I got Layla. I go, okay, no, I already read that. I already read Sheila. Okay, let me see this. Italian says, I just wish that more companies would embrace the fact that fairies would be a lot more interested in buying dolls if there were more animal options. Completely missed market. I say this, even that, just, and this is no offense to any fairies out there, that whole terminology is some crap. No offense, not crap. I don't want to call it crap, but that's something I've only recently heard about. I'm like, what the hell is this? I didn't know it was a thing with people dressing up in these animal costumes and things. Like I say, I'm not going to down anybody for doing what they love to do, because once again, it's the same people that's downing me for doing what I love to do. It's not my thing. But I do want to say this, Italia. I don't really think, I'm going to tell you what I really think it is. It's just more or less that idea of bestiality. And I just think that's a very big stigma when it comes to, I mean, honestly, when it comes to somebody really doing that with a real animal, this is sickening for me. I mean, just to think about it, that's just my personal thing. I can't even think about it. It's sickening for me to think about somebody doing that with a real animal. Ugh. So I believe that is what really have kept companies from even going that route, because I'm not even sure RealDoll would go that route. I'm not going to say what they won't do, but I'm not. I know one thing, that would definitely be some one-off thing that they would probably do behind the scenes. But I have a video saying something when Matt was talking about he I don't know if he's going to deal into that animal type thing, but I think most companies literally just avoid it because of that bestiality. I mean, you know, it's just, I promise you, that's one of the few things I'm talking about. When you're with a real, if you're doing the thing with, like you're doing the tie with your doll having characteristics of animals, that's not my thing, but that doesn't really turn my stomach. But when you're with a real animal, that type of stuff turns my stomach. So I believe that that's probably what happened with these companies. They're like, look, we're not even getting into that. That's really what I think happened. Atai said, I showed many friends my life companion, and it's well, I don't know. And a lot showed interest, but there wasn't the species they wanted. So I don't know what you're saying. I don't know if you're a fairy or not. I don't know what you're trying to say, but I guess what you're saying is, are you saying that you got a lot of friends that they're into that same type of a thing and they just didn't like that your dog, you know, what your dog was? But I know one thing. Look, I'm not even into what you're into, but I actually love your doll now. Your doll is freaking amazing. Man, you know what? Oh my God. I tell you, I don't know if you look at One Piece, but your doll actually reminds me of a man, what do they call them in One Piece, man? One Piece. They call those it's actually characters in there that are made after animals. I gotta see, and I'm not talking about the one that's with them. I'm talking about like that girl. What's her name? But either way, I ain't gonna get too off track. But man, what's the name of them? Man. Ooh, I can't think of the name of them. But when they see the moon, they change it to a different form and everything. But they're like animal people. That's really what they are. And your girl really looks like one of those characters in One Piece, man. It really looks like one of those animal people. I love your dog. I noticed Elsa Babe, this Taya says, I noticed Elsa Babe had an account on a site where many gather, but they never really pushed any of their products at all, which was seriously odd to me. I don't know. You got to make sure that that was a official account though, because a lot of these people make these accounts, but they're not official accounts. And sometimes you'll be amazed. It's some of these dog owners, I mean, companies and vendors, and they don't even really pay attention to their sites. I think that in the past, since they didn't have a lot of traffic, they just sort of forgot about these sites in a couple of cases. That's really what's happened. Okay. Ty says, I have many friends are fairy. I have a wolf girl, but they want like kangaroos and bears. I have never, it's crazy, man. I recently just started hearing about this stuff. I never even knew that was a thing that people really want to walk around and be an animal. That's crazy. Not crazy, like bad on them to each their own. I was just like, man, I had never heard of it until literally recently. It's probably been, I don't know. I don't know if it's been a whole year since I heard about them. I know it's been some months though. But God bless them. They want kangaroos and bears. I love your wolf girl. I think your wolf girl is badass because you can. I think with your wolf girl, you can imagine that it's like a werewolf. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what that is an appeal of your girl. But I say this: I'm going to end this stream talking about Taya's girl. But I say this: your girl is so beautiful that it would look. I'm not even into that, and I would be look. I would have her sitting next to one of the girls because I like her. She's amazing. So, with all that said, guys, I hope you got a lot out of this stream. Once again, this whole show was just about look, real dog. They may be considered to be at the top of the industry, and I consider them to be at the top of the industry until I find out otherwise. I haven't touched their product yet, but they did motivate me to get into the dog, game. Period. I always tell people, somebody, hey, what's the best dog brand out there? I said, well, I haven't touched them all, so I don't know. I say, but for me, I'm always going to probably lean towards RealDoll until I get evidence of the contrary, because from what I've always seen, they've been at the top of the industry. But this whole show is about, yes, I understand that the rest of the industry is pushing them hard, right? They're pushing them hard. But RealDoll, they see what the rest of the industry is doing. And you know what else they're doing? They're listening to you. And you know what they want to give you? The real dog you imagine. And that's what this show is about. Don't think for a minute that it's not coming. It is coming. And just like I told you about time, it goes by faster than you think. Austin, don't worry about your girl. She'll be fixed quicker than you think. And I'm going to be doing the show talking about Austin a little bit. Unless he sends me a message and say, don't do the show, I'm going to talk about something that is going to, I'm going to talk about the situation a little bit more in depth and something that's very important to talk about. I just say that I have a couple of very personal shows dealing with viewer situations coming up this week. So definitely stay tuned to those coming up later this week. But enjoy your Monday. Hope you enjoyed the show. Guess what? If you missed anything, please go back and listen. It's a lot of amazing things that's to come with RealDoll, and I can't wait to see. And glad that they're an affiliate of mine. Once again, if you're looking for a companion dog, look, please click the links in the descriptions of all of my videos. Go to the About section on my YouTube. Check out my social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Check out my bio. I have a link tree with all my vendors there. Hey, guess what? We want to help you improve your life. So guess what? If that's what you're looking for, come through us. Don't just go straight through the company. Don't go straight through the vendor. Go through us so we can keep coming to you on a daily basis. But with all that said, we want to send God's blessings over you today. Whatever you're hoping for, wishing for, new relationships, finances, health, whatever it is, we pray that you got it. And we just pray that you believe and you'll receive it. But as of right now, me, Callie, and Marblade, we out of here. Love you guys. And thank you, man, for stopping by. But we finna exit stage Lizeft. Yeah, baby. Have a good one. We out of here.